Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well today. I would just like to go through your notes with you, just like it's a regular class. So if you'll start with this warm-up, do question 1 and question 2 on your pink sheet, pause, give it a try, and then when you're ready you can unpause to see the answers. All right, question 1 asks for the explanatory variable. That's what's being manipulated, and in this case, it's what was being given 2 hours to complete, given 4, given 6, and given 8. So that would be the computer screen time there. Experimental units are what the treatments are being applied to. And so that's the 100 people in the study. Okay, moving right along, we're going to do our lesson on deodorant A or deodorant B. So, a group of researchers wants to compare the effectiveness of 2 different types of deodorant. That will be our explanatory variable. They have 100 subjects. These would be our experimental units. Who agreed to participate. Oh, and then our 2 types of deodorant A and B are going to be our treatments. On the next page, I'm going to show you some pictures and descriptions that go with these 3 types of experiment, and I want you to try to match them to these 3 blank spots. So here they are. We have a picture with athletes, non-athletes, A, B. We have a picture with each individual getting A and B under each arm, and a picture with just split up group A, B. And then below that, you'll see a description of each type of experiment and the way that we will set it up. So I'm going to show it all on one screen here. You can pause, and on your notes in the packet, try to just match the picture and the description to the actual place with the name, completely randomized design, match pairs design, randomized block design, and then we will go over it in a couple of minutes. When you're matching, you can use a pencil to make sure that you don't get it wrong, or you can wait till I show the answer, either one. All right, so we learned completely randomized design last class. It's the most basic kind. There are no prior steps to this one. You just split your group up randomly into treatment groups. When you describe the process for making your groups, make sure that it is so specific someone else could read it and not make any of their own decisions. So in this case, we have 2 groups, so each person will flip a coin. That makes it 50-50. If the coin lands on heads, they wear deodorant A for the day. If the coin lands on tails, they wear deodorant B. And then once one group has 50 people, the remaining people into the other group. And so that gives you 50-50, 50 people in each group, and it's just the most basic kind. The next one is called randomized block design, and that's where we separated the subject into athletes and non-athletes. Now, the reason we picked those for our blocks or groups is because thinking of deodorant, how active you are, whether you're an athlete or not an athlete, might affect how much your body needs deodorant or reacts to deodorant. So in this case, we chose that as our blocking variable. And what you'll see in the picture is that we've basically carried out the experiment in each group. So the way I'm going to write this down is you make blocks and carry out the experiment in each block. So what you can see is in the first example, I had just 2 groups, A and B. Here I end up with 4 because I had 2 blocks and then 2 groups within each block, an A and a B. All right, the next one and last one is called a matched pair design. This is a type of block where we have only 2 units in each block. In this case, the unit would be the armpit, because that's what's getting the deodorant. And so what we want is, if you're thinking about deodorant, this design would make the most sense because every individual has their own tendencies of how much they sweat and how they react to deodorant. So what you would do is put the deodorant A under one arm and deodorant B under the other arm for all 100 participants, and they would just go around the day doing all the same activities throughout the whole day because it's on their body, and then compare at the end. Now you do still have to randomize. So basically, in this case, we're just randomizing which arm gets it, because we can't say everyone gets it under the right and the other group gets it under the left, because what if everyone's right-handed and then they sweat more on that arm? So you have to still use a random method, and that's where the flipping the coin with the 50-50 comes in to decide who gets the right side, who gets deodorant A under their right arm and who gets deodorant A under their left arm, vice versa. Okay. One other thing about the 2 types with randomized block and with matched pairs, you just always want to make sure that your groups are similar. So with a matched pair, I'm as similar as I could be to myself. We could also use twins. You could match people up by age, by skin type, different things, and do it that way. So these are the 3 main types of experiment. We have completely randomized design, randomized block design, and matched pairs design. So we already learned completely randomized design last class. Remember, that's the most basic. I like to think of it as cousins with a simple random sample. The next kind was called a randomized block design. And that's where you divide participants by grouping based on a characteristic. And then you want to make sure that characteristic would affect the response. So I'm going to add that in. Like, I think that your activity level throughout the day affects how you react to deodorant. You want to random assign the treatments within each group. So that means you're doing the experiment in each group, and compare the results within each group and at the end. So always have a comparison element is as part of an experiment. The next kind is called a matched pairs design or a matched pairs experiment. And here we are going to pair similar experimental units, or identical if possible. Like we could use, like I said, identical twins. In this case, we do have sometimes where we have 2 armpits, so we can do 1 under each arm, something like that. As long as there's 2, pairs are 2. And so the 2 treatments are randomly assigned within each pair, where one half of the pair would get treatment A, the other half would get treatment B, or one person could receive both treatments in random order.